Okay. If you say so. If you say so. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, you guys. How's everyone doing? All right. I wanted to jump on and share a little bit about what I've been experiencing. I don't like this view. Hold on. I feel like I'm looking down. It's really annoying. Hold, please. I'm having OCD issues right now. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh my God, I have issues, I know. Well, let me just do that. Okay, how's the sound? Hi, Chad. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna release my control over this. All right, I am in Florida right now. I'm in Florida. I needed to get away. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I've been going through and experiencing, just to talk about this evolutionary shift in our consciousness, that it is no joke, and that this really truly is an energetic shifting. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. There is no positive vibes, negative vibes. There's no quick fix to get through this. There's no bypassing to get through this. And what is this? What are we in? What are we navigating? Please help me, God. Is kind of how I feel. So I'll quickly share kind of what I've been experiencing this past week, and then dive a little bit deeper into the energetics of it. And there's, I think that it's interesting as I've been sharing a little bit more and more vulnerably about what I am personally going through on an energetic level. I start to tap deeper into these programs that we live in. And one of the programs that I'm always tapping into as of late, as I become more vulnerable and raw about what I'm going through, is this idea that we have to show up in a certain way. Right? That we have to show up for people in a certain way so they view us in a certain way. How do I want people to see me? If I am if I am a kindergarten teacher, if I am a mom, if I am a spiritual teacher, whatever that means, if I am a doctor, how do I want people to see me? How do I want people to view me? That is the way we live in this world. And when we do that, it makes sense. I get it. But when we do that, we are putting ourselves in a box, and we are saying there are right ways and wrong ways to show up. Now, of course, as a doctor, right, or as a teacher, you're not going to come in and start spewing all of your personal shit that you've gone through. I get that. Okay, I understand that. I understand that you're not going to go to your work and start crying and bawling about a breakup that you had. I understand that. All right. But what is occurring right now for so many of us is that we are being called to become more authentic, and that there is absolutely nothing wrong with anything that we are feeling. There is nothing wrong with how we are viewed by the world if we are breaking down. There is nothing wrong if we are experiencing a massive shit show, right? There is nothing wrong with anything that we are going through. And the more that we allow ourselves to go through this through the lens that there is literally nothing wrong with me, and that it is okay for me to share this, you are allowing other people to feel the same, and it becomes a domino effect. And then we start to become okay. We start to make the uncomfortable comfortable. We start to say, it's okay that you are breaking down. It is okay that you are quote unquote negative. It's okay that you are low vibe right now, right? It is okay to be all of you. All of you. Because when you start to move deeper into a flow state, you stop denying and pretending what you don't want to feel. And if you are denying and pretending what you are currently going through because you don't want people to see you in a specific light, you are literally denying the greatest gift that is being given to you, which is your evolution in human consciousness. Your evolution. You're shifting into greater versions of you. You're shifting into higher aspects of you. the shift that you are allowing yourself to have right now. It's going to look messy. It's going to feel disoriented. It's going to feel like you don't belong, right? These are the things that we talk about all the time. And right now, at least for myself, it is this deep awareness of the powerful and potent programming that I have to show up in a specific way for all of you. That if I am a teacher, that if I am known to be able to share these concepts, then I better not show up messy as hell. I better not show up broken down. I better not let you guys know that I literally feel like I'm dying over and over again right now. Why? Why? Why can't I do that? Why can't I show up like that? Because the program says people aren't going to see you in the same light. Because the program is telling me that if I want to be successful, that if I want to be listened to, that if I want to be trusted, that if I want to be heard, then I have to show up a certain way. That is a program. That is a massive program that we unconsciously accept. I should only put pretty pictures of myself out there looking like I have it all together. I'm only going to show when my relationship is good. I'm only going to talk about the positive things in my life, right? I'm only going to share when I'm happy. I'm only going to share when I'm in an absolute aligned state. Or I'm going to ignore everything and show up in a way that isn't true to me. Do you realize what's going to happen as more and more and more of us step out of that program that I can't show up truly authentic, absolutely vulnerable? It's not easy, right? It's truly not easy. Pay attention throughout your days when you are starting to become aware of how people are viewing you. Because none of us have this nailed. None of us have this nailed yet. To truly, truly, truly be 100% vulnerable and authentic in every capacity of our lives. When you start to move into higher states of consciousness, when you start to move into higher vibrational states, higher frequencies, it will be impossible for you to not express what you're going through. And it will be impossible for you to not feel when you are denying and lying about what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. You will start to notice when someone says, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm doing fine." "Are you happy?" "Yeah, I'm always happy." "Oh, really?" Right? You're going to notice that's bullshit. You're lying. That's programming. Right? We may be awake to all the dark that's happening in the world. We may be awake to all the evil, or a lot of the evil that's happening on this planet. But are you awake to the deep, deep programming that has convinced you that you need to show up positively? That's a program that disempowers us. The more we deny every crunchy, messy, dirty, traumatic piece of us, the more we deny that, the more we are disempowered and controlled by the external world. The more we devour it, the more we say, "I feel like shit. I feel messy. I feel out of control. I feel like I'm in a death cycle. I feel like nobody's going to want to be around me." The more empowered and free you become. That is how deeply programmed we are. That we, the awakened ones, are pretending still. Because we are in a deep program. How are people going to view me? How are people going to see me? I came to Florida last Sunday in a very uncomfortable state. I was numb. I was disconnected. I felt dead to the world. I had no energy. I wasn't the happy-go-lucky, throw caution to the wind and let's go have fun person. But I wanted to come. So I told my friend when I arrived, I was like, "Listen, I'm a shit show right now. This is me. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going through." right? And I just showed up as me. And thank goodness my friend didn't try to change me, right? Thank goodness my friend was just like, do you, whatever. And I was able to show up every day and continue to show up every day in just how I am. I'm exhausted today. You know, I have no energy to be fun right now. Okay. I don't try to put on a front. I don't try to say, oh my God, I better pick up my bootstraps and change my frequency and change how I'm viewing the world and change. No, I am not in control. I am not in control. This evolutionary shift that you're going through, you guys, this shift and shit show that you're going through, you can't control it. You can't control it. One of the reasons that we don't quite understand how the quantum field works yet is because we would manipulate it through our ego. We would manipulate it through our ego. So we don't quite understand yet how energy and the quantum field works. Not truly. Not all the way. Not even close, really. But it's because we're still so programmed and we are still so controlled by our egos that we would be harming ourselves more. So you have to let go of trying to control energies. From a quantum perspective, there are universal laws where we know how to control the energetic world. That's how we came into the human body in the first place. We have mastery over energy. But when you have mastery over energy in a trauma state, in a shadow state, in an egoic state, you are only going to perpetuate the shadow and the trauma and the egoic aspects. It is not until you have healed. It is not until you are no longer playing in shadow. It is not until you have embodied and integrated the ego into the higher self that you can truly begin to access and use energies for your highest potential. Until then, you are manifesting, creating, and fucking with energies to only perpetuate trauma, shadow, programming, and ego. Nothing wrong with that, but that's what most of us are doing. So if you can humble yourself enough to understand that you cannot control your energetic state, because you may still be in some trauma and some shadow and some ego. And how do I know that you're an ego? How do I know I'm an ego? Because when it doesn't feel good, I want to get out of it. Higher self, if you were actually in the higher version of you, you wouldn't want to get out of anything. Because you would understand what you are in, which is an energetic shift. If you as higher self knew that you were constantly in an energetic shift, then you would stop trying to change anything. It's because you don't like what you're in. And you have been programmed to believe that you have to be positive, high vibe, high frequency, that creates your reality. So you better pop out of anything that isn't that. That is an egoic state filled with trauma and shadow that doesn't want to feel the uncomfortable because they are afraid to feel the uncomfortable because we have been programmed to believe that we are the uncomfortable. We have been programmed to believe that if we feel what we do not like, then we are it. And that is the farthest thing. We are being taught how to remember that we are none of it in order to feel it all while we are experiencing it so that we can evolve. And the moment that you are in a state of controlling and trying to pull yourself out of what you don't like is the moment that you are stopping your evolution. It's the moment that you are finding yourself in a deep programmed state. We are designed to flow. We're designed to flow. We're designed to move as an energetic being in a physical form, like a raft in water in a river, allowing everything to be experienced. The reason this is tricky, Denise, is because you don't want to anchor what you are feeling in your reality. When you anchor what you're feeling in reality, you are giving your power to what you're experiencing. For instance, right now, I am literally experiencing very strange things. It's not comfortable. I don't feel like myself. I feel like everything's being taken from me energetically, even though I don't have anything being taken from me. I feel dead to the world. I'm afraid. Literally, I am afraid that like I'm not going to be able to grab anything and like and create anything. There's a lot going on. Now, if I were to anchor that, what I would do is I would pay attention to it. I would create stories around it. Okay? And by creating stories like, oh my God, this is going to suck. Oh my God, this is how it's going to be. Oh my God, what does this mean? Oh my God. Then you are anchoring that energy into your now, and you're carrying it like a weight. It's heavy. You're obsessed with it, right? That's why it can be tricky. When you are in a flow state, Denise, right? When you're in a flow state, then what you're doing is you are simply allowing yourself to experience it. You're not trying to make a story out of it. You're not trying to say why. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, oh, today I'm experiencing ... Today I'm feeling ... Today I'm always investigating. I'm investigating what I'm experiencing. I'm investigating. Like last night, I was out to dinner with my friend. And I was just talking about like, man, I feel so numb. I feel so disconnected. I feel like I'm seeing so much programming. I'm feeling like I'm breaking out of all of this even more, right? Like I'm feeling all of this and simply feeling it. I'm talking about it as the observer. I'm experiencing it just in this beingness state, right? Like, and that's flow. It becomes tricky only when you start to anchor it in because you believe that it's you believe it's going to stay, you believe that you're stuck, and you believe that you need to change it. It becomes tricky when you believe you need to change anything in your life that you're experiencing, right? You want to pay attention to control. When you have integrated more of the ego with the higher self, you will not try to control anymore. The reason you control is because you're afraid. And the reason that you're afraid is because you have been programmed to believe that you are what you're experiencing. Higher self, this other version of you, knows that you're none of it. If you truly knew that you were none of what you were experiencing, would you try to control it and change it? While you simultaneously hold that you're moving through an evolution. You're moving through energetic shifts. That's what's happening with you. That's what's happening with me. That's what's happening with this planet. That's what's happening with the human collective. Whether you understand that or believe that, that's what's happening right now. So we are energetically shifting frequency. We are energetically shifting vibration. We are energetically shifting states of consciousness or states of being. And we are learning how to move into new ways of being on this planet, in this physical body, so that we can start to access this quantum field where everything is possible, where we can manipulate energy. But it's never from a controlled state. It's from like a scientist, right? Be the scientist now. Imagine you're looking at a petri dish and you, the human personality, human, like Tumber 27 or Bella Brooklyn, you are in the petri dish. Denise, you're in the petri dish. Okay? And there's an aspect of you that's looking at you in the petri dish. And you're just in awe. What the hell am I going through? How attached am I to this relationship? How afraid am I to let this go? How dead do I feel to the world? Right? How much pain am I in right now? How much grief am I feeling? Look at you. Experiment. Dissect. Be in awe while you're in all of it. I don't know, Denise asked this question and I just am like stuck on Denise. Who's Denise? There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of emotional pain. There's a lot of physical pain. If you understood, if you started to hold the perspective that, one, you're not the pain, okay? You're experiencing the pain, and the pain doesn't feel good, so you get to have all your human emotions around the pain. You get to have the temper tantrums around the pain, physical or emotional. But if you understood that the pain is healing you, if you understood that the pain is moving through you, if you understood that the pain is allowing you access to something that is beyond it, would you not allow it to be? Would you not feel it? Would you not experience it? Of course you would. We're learning how to do all this. It's not even a learning. It's a remembrance. It's truly a remembrance. And the other interesting thing about this is when I am in these states that I'm in right now, I know that my body is holding much higher frequencies right now than it was 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Okay? My body is holding higher frequencies, or you can call it higher vibrational states, higher vibrations, I'm vibrating higher. That doesn't mean I'm not going to feel shitty as shit, or I'm not going to feel like I'm dead to the world, or I'm not going to feel numb, or I'm not going to feel different. We put stories on what we feel. I must be in a low frequency. I must be in a low vibration. No. I must be in a low vibe. No. Double no. You are experiencing energies as emotions or thoughts or beliefs or behaviors that are moving through you in order for you to continue to hold higher frequencies. You are not those lower frequencies that you are experiencing that are simply moving through the body. This is why I am so adamant about not trying to move into a high vibes only. That is one of the biggest deceptions in this world. And one of the biggest disservices that we can give ourselves. Because the only way that you move into a high vibe, the only way that you shift frequencies in your body is by experiencing and feeling the quote unquote lower vibes that nobody wants to pretend, that everyone wants to pretend they're not feeling. Everyone wants to pretend that they're all good. And we're not. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. And it's totally important to balance. We need laughter. We need comedy. We need fun. We need joy. We have that available at the same time that we feel shitty. Right? When you feel terrible in the body, think to yourself, I'm healing. When you feel like you're in a low vibe, tell yourself your body's actually in a much higher frequency, and it's literally clearing out those lower vibes. Because eventually you won't look at it as lower or higher, it just is. Eventually you'll get to the place where it just is. There is no such thing. It just is being experienced. But if you're still in this high vibe, low vibe bullshit that everybody wants to be in, then if you believe that you're in a low vibe frequency, low vibe person, tell yourself that you are actually holding much higher frequencies. In fact, tell people that are telling you that you're in a low vibe, I don't want to be around you, you're in a low vibe. First of all, go fuck yourself. Don't tell me that, because you're lying, period, in discussion case closed. But second, I'm actually not in a low vibe. I'm in a much higher frequency. My body is releasing lower frequencies right now. So namaste, shut the hell up. Right? Hold that awareness. Even depression. Depression is always in movement. The problem with depression, the thing that is so admirable that we have to respect around depression, is that depression feels like it's anchored. Okay? I want to also talk about depression for a moment, because there are experiences that I've been having lately that can feel like depression, but it's not depression. Okay? Right now, what I'm feeling is like I'm disconnected from the world. I really don't want to be around a lot of people because it's like, there's almost just sort of like this, I don't have energy. I really don't have a lot of energy to like be in something with people right now, right? I have no oomph for life. It's like, okay, like this is all great, but some people would be like, oh, you're depressed. But I know that it's not depression. I know that it's an energetic state that's moving through me, right? And I know that my body is actually holding much higher frequencies. How do I know that? Because I've been in them, because I've experienced them, and because I can feel them right now at the exact same time. I can tap into it right now. Am I moving myself out of what I'm in? Hell no. Am I changing it? Hell no. Why would I think that I am in control of this and that I know how to do this? I don't. I don't. I'm humble enough to say, Jesus, take the wheel. Not truly Jesus, but take the wheel, Lori's higher self. Like, take the wheel, my guides. Take the wheel, God. Take the wheel, universe. Take the wheel, source. Take the wheel. Guide me through this. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to feel. Show me what I need to see with my thoughts. Show me all of my behaviors. Show me my trauma. Show me my shadow. Give it all to me. And when it comes, when it's served to me, I respect the hell out of it and I feel it. I don't say to the universe, show me what I need to see next. Move me into the highest version of me. Give me abundance. And then the universe, i.e. my higher self, God, shows me what I need to see that's blocking me from being able to receive that. And I say, oh, no. I don't want that. No. Please don't show me that. I don't want to feel that. I'm going to move myself out of that. I'm going to shift that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to manipulate that. And the universe is like, excuse me. Pretty sure you just asked me for true divine love. Pretty sure you just asked me for abundance. Pretty sure you just asked me for your divine purpose. I'm showing you what's in the way of you being able to access it, and you are now choosing to control that and push that out of the side. You're gonna say, I think I'm gonna move that over here. I don't want to look at that. Excuse me? This is what you need to look at in order to get there. No, I don't want to feel that. I'm going to control how I'm feeling, and I'm going to move myself into a different state. Okay. Pretty sure if you had that kind of control, young lady, you would already have what you so are desiring and asking for from the universe. So how about you stop trying to control everything, young lady, and you let us show you what's in the way, what's blocking you, so that we can bring you to what's awaiting. How do you do that? You understand that when you ask for things, you understand that when you start creating things in your life through intention, that everything's going to be brought to you that's shadow and trauma and blocking your remembrance that you already have it, that it's already here, that it's yours. So what are you going to feel? Things like I'm feeling right now. Massive shit show. Maybe you're going to feel relationships differently. Maybe you're going to see deep programs. Maybe you're going to recognize beliefs that you've held from the past that are still there. What a gift. Maybe you're going to have a beautiful friend come in and activate that trigger so deeply that you really get to see it. And this time you're like, I'm done with that behavior. One of the things that I did this past week, I'm the type of person that I make plans and then I change them at the last minute. Because if I don't feel like doing something, I'm not going to do it. The problem is that I shouldn't be making plans. And this past week was I did it to somebody that really was important to me in my life. And I hurt her. Not that she was hurt, like she understood everything, right? But it impacted her. I said to myself, I'm done. I am done. Right? She was able to be the reflection to me of what I finally needed to see for the last time. That when I make plans with somebody, I know deep down that that I may not feel like it when the moment comes. So I need to stop making plans altogether with everyone, no matter what. Because I do not want to hurt the most important people in my life. I'm done. So that's a gift. when somebody confronts you, when somebody tells you what's bothering them, when somebody, don't defend it. If you are defending something, look at that trauma. If you're trying to defend yourself against something, go deeper right now. Go deeper. Truly go deeper, because there's something in there for you. When you are whole and complete, when you're confident in who you are and who you show up as, you don't need to defend. You don't defend yourself. And what we're going to find is that we're going to stop defending ourselves more and more and more. You don't defend when you are confident in who you are. And when you are authentically all of who you are. And when you are not playing in shadow. I was playing in shadow with my friend. I should have been blatantly upfront and said, as much as I want to see you, I know deep down I should not make a plan. But I wanted to make the plan. I wanted to make it seem like we were going to see each other, even though I really felt like we were going to see each other, even though I knew deep down, what if I didn't see her and then I'm going to fuck up the whole thing, right? That's a shadow. Look at that, Lori. Look at it. Don't brush it off. These are tiny little things. They're not massive big deals, but this is what's being shown to us over and over and over again. And defensiveness is a massive sign that there's something deeper. Because when you have started to really release the trauma and the shadow, truly releasing trauma and shadow, and allowing the ego to really integrate into higher self, there's no defense. You're not defending. You're allowing. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, but it's true. How do I meet people? I don't understand what you mean. How do I meet people? I meet people every day. Right? Oh, I explained everything to my girlfriend. Yeah, I got vulnerable. I got super raw. I was like, this is what I have been doing my whole life. I am so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I was diarrhea from the mouth. Every opportunity that you have to be able to literally be the most vulnerable aspect of you, take it. That is true healing, and that is true freedom. And I guarantee you, if you're paying attention, there wasn't anything to fix. We didn't have to fix anything. She just shared with me how she felt. I shared with her how I felt. And because we understand the other person, meaning I understand how she felt, she understood how I was, it was complete. It's complete. It's okay. Now, let's say that she was somebody that still lives in a lot of victimhood, okay? Let's say that she was somebody that still had a lot of trauma in her body and the world does things to her, i.e. she's not taking responsibility for how she's feeling and she's not allowing me to take responsibility for how I'm feeling, right? There's a lot of people in the world that still live in a very deep victim mentality, that the world is happening to them. I'm doing things to her, okay? When you have people in your life like that, then they're going to make you feel bad about who you are. If my friend was incapable of truly just sharing how she felt, but instead she started to get angry with me, she started to yell at me, I don't understand why you did this, you made me feel this way, you have a problem, you this, I wouldn't have felt safe to vulnerably share. Or maybe I would have been able to vulnerably share and all of who I was authentically. And because she was still in a state of victimhood, you're doing this to me, poor me, then when I vulnerably shared to her, right, she would have thrown it back in my face. And if I wasn't healed, if I was still in trauma, if I was still in a lot of shadow, we would have gotten into an argument. And there you find yourself yelling and trying to defend who you are. So what you want to pay attention to is, can you be vulnerable? Can you allow somebody to just have whatever they're having? Can you see it? Don't point it out, you're a victim. You don't need to tell them that. Don't point out like, oh, you're not this, or, oh, no, just let them be. Stay in your lane. Just talk about you. Just talk about what you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're going through. And the more real and vulnerable and authentic that you can be, the more you heal and the more free you become, regardless of how this individual reacts and responds. If you get into you did this to me, you made me feel this way, you need to see what you did, you this, you that, you're really not only jumping into somebody else's lane, but you're missing your own healing. Your healing and your freedom, which is even more important, because when you really start to heal, you become free. Your healing and your freedom comes from you just staying in your lane. Just share what you're feeling, share what you're thinking. That's it. Let them have whatever they're having and don't defend. Practice that. It's very difficult when you are in any sort of relationship with somebody that is deep in trauma, that is deep in victimhood. Be in awe of it. Be the scientist. Start being the scientist in that. Start seeing the petri dish of like, oh my God, this person's responding this way. This person's feeling it this way. I'm saying this, they're responding that way. That's how you become more of the observer. Right? That's how you become more of the observer in the situation, and you don't get caught up and all of a sudden you are sucked into it. You observe how the other person is reacting and responding, and you do not start pointing the finger and telling them. Just stay looking at yourself in the mirror. Don't tell them what they need to be looking at in the mirror. Right? It's next level. It is next level when you are able to just allow the person to be and to express themselves and to honor it. I was so grateful that she told me how she felt, because it opens up a deeper level of intimacy with friends, a deeper level of intimacy with partners, a deeper level of intimacy with the world, a deeper level of intimacy with us. Right? Anyway, you guys, that's it. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get going. So anyway, it can get exhausting. Yeah, sure can. The world can feel exhausting. Next, don't play in stories. What does that mean? Don't get caught in a story. A story will pull you down. A story will anchor you into a pause state, meaning a story will anchor you into a past. So you're in a flow state. You in this flow state on the river, on your raft, you bump into somebody, you have an experience with that somebody. Okay? And let's say it's an exhausting back and forth. You're like, Jesus Christ, that was exhausting. Okay? If you create a story around it, like, oh my God, they did this, and then I did this, and now what are we supposed to do with this? And you start floating past the experience, but you're still talking about the experience. You're still trying to figure out what you should have done. You're literally, there's an anchor that's keeping you pulled to a past, right? You're anchoring yourself. You're stopping the flow. Let everything just be. Whatever you've experienced, just let it be. Stop telling stories about it to anchor it. Right? Just, okay, it happened. Move on. Keep going. If you feel like, oh my God, I need to tell them how sorry I am, things like that, then whatever. But pay attention to the stories. The stories are going to keep you anchored in a past. Pay attention to the stories now that you're doing. Especially if you're hiding who you are, Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for everything, for everything. Be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with other people out there. Don't forget that you're going through a massive, massive energetic shift. It's an energetic shift that you're going through, and that you can't control it. Pay attention to when you want to control it. Pay attention to when you're judging it. Pay attention to when you're trying to pretend that you're certain ways because you don't want people to see you for who you are. Be all of who you are. Who gives a shit? Because I guarantee you all the positive, go-lucky, happy people out there are feeling like shit behind the curtains as well, because we're all going through this massive evolutionary shift. Whatever the fuck this is that we're going through right now energetically in the body isn't always happy, isn't always rainbows, isn't always beautiful, smiley faces, right? But people are going to put that on. They're going to make it seem like they are all the time. And then it's going to make you feel like you're fucking weird and that there's something wrong with you. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with you. You're going through a shift in consciousness. You're going through an energetic shift. So be it. Don't pretend. Because the less you pretend, the more you're going to free other people. I love you.